So today is October 19th, and the time is currently 1:28 a.m. It is very late, but I just got back from a gym. I went to the gym with my closest friend, and we went to a 24/7 gym that was like maybe like 20 something minutes from us. And to be honest, I want to talk about this in particular, and this is, I don't know what the title of this video is going to be just yet, but I just want to mention it just so I can get that out of the way, just to kind of just let you know what we're going to talk about here. But the people that you surround yourself with are very important. And to be honest, someone telling you this as myself, or you just hearing this around, like on the internet or through different people or whatever, through videos that you may have seen, you may not fully understand what that looks like. Just as anything that you hear or see, you don't know what that really means or looks like in a real life moment until it happens, and you can really see the importance of your surroundings, the importance of what you do, because, to be honest, right now at this very instance, something could be not really that important, but when it really comes into play, you're like, dang, maybe if I had better people around me, life would be better or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I have a little story, or an actual real life experience of something that I witnessed, and I'm going to talk about in this video too, which is a little messy, but I got to bring it up because it was something that I witnessed, and it kind of stuck with me, and it kind of made me distance myself from that particular group of friends, that I'm just like, after I saw that, I just was like, it just kind of like, it made me think and it made me wonder, but whatever. Nonetheless, let me just tell you why I feel inspired to talk about this, right? I'm not going to lie, for the past week or so, I've been feeling kind of unhappy. I've been feeling kind of, just not really all myself, if that makes any sense. I've just been feeling unhappy. I haven't really been feeling all that well, I guess, mentally, or I wouldn't say physically, but just mentally in my head and how I feel like in the core of my being. It just wasn't anything that really felt spectacular. I didn't feel even neutral. I just felt like unhappy, and I can try to explain why, and maybe like think like, oh, it's because of this, is it because of that? I'm not gonna bother with that, because I know that whatever it is, it kind of just boils down to the result of me just not feeling happy, right? And we can talk about the spirituality stuff, we can talk about the mindset stuff, but let's just be quite honest. If you're feeling unhappy, you're feeling unhappy, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but of course, I don't mean that there's nothing wrong with that, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, nothing is wrong, right? But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't want to feel unhappy forever, So it's like, I guess, I don't know if it's just like my kind of thing, or maybe it's a man thing, or maybe a human being thing, You try to find a solution. You try to find, well, what can I do? And sometimes you can't really find that answer by yourself. And this is the importance of having good people that actually care about you, and people that will look out for you, even if they don't even know that they're doing that. Just the kind of impact that someone like that or people like that can have in your life, it'll kind of take you away, or remind you, like literally you will feel a reminder of just how beautiful, and how, even though we may not fully know why, or even know, I wouldn't even say fully, even though we may not even know at all why the fuck we are here and what the purpose of being here is, it's just like, wow, there are people out there that will say some really beautiful things, and it's a reminder, to just like, wow, like, I'm wanted here, or I am loved here, So it's like, even though sometimes I feel really unhappy, and I'm like, what's the point of even continuing, as grim as that may sound, it's also like, having people like that in your life will literally, at least for me, tonight, it's been very important. It's like a reminder for me to be like, yeah, you know what? When I have people like this in my life, life feels good. I am reminded of a good feeling that kind of draws me away from feeling unhappy, So let me tell you, like I said, I came back from the gym like no less than like an hour ago, and I was working like a 9-hour shift. And at the shift, I have this one manager who has before told me about her motherly instinct kind of being present of of an understanding of just me not feeling that well. She tried to talk to me about it, and I've kind of like shut it down in like a way that's like not disrespectful, but just kind of like, I'm good. Like, we don't have to talk about this. Like, I'm good. Let me just do my thing here, right? And then today she kind of gave me like a look, and I just kind of like smiled and laughed back, because like I knew what she was saying. Like, she didn't have to say any words for me to understand what she's trying to, I guess, imply. And you know, like throughout the day, I was feeling unhappy. I just was like, I don't like, this is bullshit, you know? But nonetheless, when I, like an hour or so before I clocked out, I clocked out like at 9, you know, I got a message from my friend asking me if I wanted to go to like a 24/7 gym and go get a pump. And I was like, you know what, man, I feel tired. Like, no bullshit. Like, I clocked out at 9. It was like 9:30, 9:40ish when I got home, and I was tired. I was like, on my drive back to my house, I was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. But you know what? I'm still gonna go and get this pump just cause, like, fuck it, you know? And to be honest, I'm happy, genuinely happy that I went out to go get that pump, because as soon as we walked inside the gym, first of all, I had gone, this was a different gym, you know, like a few months ago, we went to a whole different 24/7 gym, but that was also like 20 or so minutes away from us. And it just, like, looking back at that, it just felt nostalgic. Something about that just felt really nice. I look back at that and I'm like, wow, that was a really great time. And we only had like a 3-day trial at that gym. But it was dope. Like, it was dope. I think we only went twice, but I look back at that and I don't know why it feels like a whole arc. It feels like a whole arc. And even though it was like a side quest kind of thing, it feels like a whole arc, because I look back at that and I'm just like, that was a good time. Nonetheless, though, we go to a whole different one tonight, and we're getting this pump in, we're hitting back, we're hitting biceps, and I did some abs at the end. And I just, like, something, like, we started hitting abs, and he said something, like, it was just this little experience. I'm not going to try to retell it. I just know that I was genuinely just laughing, like, not fake laughing, but genuinely letting out, like, a real laugh, you know? And I was like, wow, man, honestly, I'm glad that I came out to go get this pump, because now I feel alive, I feel awake, you know? Is this something that's going to be maintained? Nah, you gotta kind of take these experiences, I wouldn't say with a grain of salt, but as they come, you know, because sometimes it's like a roller coaster, you know, shit goes up and down, you know. I'm not going to jump into all those cliches and shit, but you know what I'm trying to say. Nonetheless, when I got back home, I texted one of my other friends that also goes to the actual gym that I go to, letting him know, like, yo, we got this pump at this 24/7 gym, and he's drunk. He literally tells me that he's drunk, and then he says some really wholesome and sweet things, and I just was like, wow, you know, there are people here that actually care about me, or will say things, and I don't even know that they know this for sure or at all, but they're generally doing and saying things that to me mean so much. And just imagine that. You can do that for someone else, and someone can do that for you. And that's a beautiful experience. That's a beautiful experience, you know? So let me just tell you now about the little experience that I had a few months ago of something that I saw that I was kind of like, yeah, like that to me, when I look back at that experience, I'm like, yeah, thank God I don't have these guys as like my closest friends, or even like, I wouldn't even say they're like, I just, especially after an experience I had like about like a few weeks ago with them, I don't see them often at all. I probably see them once like every couple of months, you know. There was like a little streak I had going on in terms of seeing them with this one, or like these few months, but it wasn't that often. Nonetheless, though, there was one night a few months ago where I go to this guy's crib, you know, and they were celebrating someone's birthday party, you know, and one of the guys that's there, he has his girlfriend with him, and they've been in a relationship for like about 5 or so years, you know. I hope that none of them watch this video. No, I think only really one of them knows about this YouTube channel, but I don't think they for real watch the video. So, man, I'm sorry if you're watching this video. I know this is messy to talk about, but this is why I don't bring up any names, you know. Whatever. Point is, you know, I'm at this guy's crib, and we're celebrating this dude's birthday. This one dude's birthday, and the dude whose birthday we were celebrating, he brought 2 girls with him. And how can I say this? You know, the 2 girls that were there was this other dude who's been in a relationship with this one woman for like 5 years, you know? And that dude who's in the relationship with this woman for 5 years, he started drinking a bit, and under the the influence of alcohol, he started chatting it up with these 2 girls, you know? And the 2 girls that were there, they knew that guy was in a relationship with the woman that was there. And so they kind of started like side-eyeing the other, the woman that's in the relationship with that guy that's chatting with those girls. They kind of started like side-eyeing them, whatever, kind of giving this like telepathic message of like, yo, get your mans or something like that, whatever it is. And so the woman that's in the relationship with the guy for 5 years or so, she was getting like frustrated, she was just frustrated. So she kind of just like tapped out, just like she went kind of like nonverbal, and she even kind of got up from her seat and then sat someplace else, And point is, at the end of the night, once everybody left, the guy that was talking to those two girls, he was pretty drunk, so he actually ended up knocking out on the sofa that was right beside us where all of us were sitting. And by this point, when he's knocked out on the sofa, it was just literally the main core of people that were there. The birthday guy and those two girls were gone. They were not there anymore. So we were sitting, while the drunk guys on the sofa just knocked out. We were sitting, and it's three guys, including myself. So there's two other guys other than myself. And then there's the woman that's in the relationship with the guy that's knocked out on the sofa drunk, right? And essentially what happens is that she's now letting out her frustration verbally by saying and talking about the kind of the dynamic that she shares with the guy that's drunk, knocked out on the sofa, right? And she's just basically saying that she plans to break up with him, rada, this whole thing, right? And, I saw something that to me is like, that's kind of crazy. If any of my guy friends did that as I'm knocked out on the sofa, drunk, of course I'm not there to witness it because I'm knocked out on the sofa drunk, like in that particular scenario. But to me, it's just kind of crazy to even think that in my inner circle of friends that someone could do something like this. And I'm gonna tell you what I saw, right? So one of the guys that was there, he's basically, there's two guys. Like I said, it's myself and these two other guys, and she's letting out this frustration. And both of those guys, which are close friends, childhood friends of the guy that's knocked out on the sofa, they're trying to kind of like basically cool her down, let her know like, yo, we've been trying to like talk to that guy to kind of switch up his ways, be a little bit more loving and whatnot, right? Which is a whole different conversation of itself. To convince someone to love their girlfriend or wife more or something like that, I don't know about that. But whatever. The point is, they were trying to tell her to calm down. And in the middle of this, I'm just observing. I'm not speaking. I'm not adding my 2 cents. I did ask a question to her because I was curious, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But nonetheless, they're both talking to her. I'm observing. And I see that the guy that's sitting next to her, while he's trying to cool her down, he puts his hand on her lap. Now, it may not be much to you watching or to anyone, but I thought, because if you were there to experience what they were saying to her, and also like how he was speaking to her, I don't know, putting his hand on his closest friends or one of his closest friends' girlfriend's lap, to me is a little crazy, because I'm just like, he's calling her bestie and things like that, and I'm just like, what is really going on here? Is he like trying to backdoor him or something? You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. This is just speculation. But nonetheless, when I see something like that, I'm like, ugh. I just feel like the advice, or not even the advice, because listen, what I was talking about earlier with my closest friend bringing me out to the gym, and this one guy that I also go to the gym with texting me saying some wholesome sweet things while he's also drunk, like, it's just like they aren't aware of the impact that they have, right? They're not doing that intentionally, but they are being loving, they're being caring, they're being supportive in a divine way, I guess you could say, right? So I can just imagine that the guy that was drunk, knocked out on the sofa with his friend, right, that's putting his own hand on that girl's lap, I just imagine that the way that they show up for each other really isn't loving. Like, it's not, that's just my take on that. I could be wrong. But nonetheless, when I saw that, I was like, nah, man, like, what is going on? Anyways, like I said earlier, like a few minutes ago, the 2 cents that I added in, right, is because she was, like I said, she was letting out that frustration once everybody had basically left and the guy was knocked out on the sofa drunk. And, she basically had said that the guy that was knocked out on the sofa drunk, he had cheated on her maybe like a year or so ago. And so I was trying to understand where she was coming from, because I'm like, well, if he did that and you're still with him, like, why, That's basically like kind of like how I asked that question, like why, like what keeps you around, like you're talking all this, like, you know, all this frustration, and it's like you're really trying to convince yourself that you could leave the man, and then, you know, like you're saying all this, like why haven't you done, like, you know, if there's been like years of this. I was just curious. I wasn't saying that and trying to like throw a jab at her or anything like that. I'm genuinely just curious. And I can't repeat it in the way that she said it at that moment, but she said something along the lines of loving him, and for me, I could tell that, I mean, I could be wrong, you know, but when she said that, I genuinely felt sad. I felt sad to the point where I think my eyes started to water a bit. And I wasn't going to cry, but genuinely, it made me feel sad. I felt, oh my God, I don't feel sad now, but I don't know. Nonetheless, though, I felt sad in that moment. And I understood what she meant. And it's just a tough situation. Life is not easy, okay? Life is not easy. It's not always beautiful. It's not always like sunshine and rainbows. It's not like that 24/7. Like I said, I wish it was, but that's not the case. That's not the reality that we live in. We kind of have to really fight for shit sometimes, or put up with a fight, I guess you could say, because sometimes life just hurls some shit towards our way, and it's just like, damn, am I well equipped to take this? Am I well equipped to handle this, you know? And that's why having the support of real people, real loving people that don't even know that they're doing that. Sometimes, you know, like I said, like in other videos, I've stated this before, effort, sometimes it's a little questionable, right? But someone being genuine, someone being wholesome, loving, that stuff really means a lot. And that's not something that they're probably intentionally doing. They don't even realize it, you know? That's the kind of things that you want to deal with in your life, I guess, or have in your life. People that will not even know that they're keeping you here, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I felt inspired to come out here and talk about this because, I mean, for the past few days, I've been wanting to record a video, but I haven't had the drive or, like, the feeling to, like, come out here and really speak, because I just felt like if I did it, it wouldn't have come out in the way that things have came out in this video. But this is what it's about, you know? If we can't do it one day, if we can't do it tomorrow, one of these days, we will. And progress. I've said it multiple times in these videos. Progress is what we're going for here, you know? At least a little bit. It doesn't have to be progress every freaking day. Again, not perfection. We're not going for perfection. We're just trying to simply just live and progress. Okay? That's it. Now go enjoy your life. And I really, really do mean that. I'm hearing weird noises around me. I don't know what the heck is going on. That's it.